Philip. Number 15, Brendan William. Number 5, Sylvester Sonson. Number 10, Delmani Bertia. Number 12, Raye Joseph. Number 1 will be the goalkeeper, that is Samuel Cadet. We have number 8, that is Christian Cadet. Number 6, Adriano Ogis. Number 13, Eric Gabriel. And number 17, Alfred Hippolyte. The assistant coach is Manus Cherry, that is. The head coach is Mr. Thomas Augustine and the manager, Dane Senqua. So again, it's a good matchup between two teams who do not want to be in Tier 2 based upon their tradition, based upon their history. They have actually, written their history in terms of local football at various levels of competition. But now it's a semi-pro league and they have to begin in Tier 2, Ancillary and Vieux South. We know the prowess of Vieux South, a team in transition, but a team that has won many plaudits when it comes to local football.
Definitely, and Ancillary would be coming in with looking to prove a point here against Vieux South, who, of course, they themselves, both teams would feel like they belong in Tier 1 of this competition and will be looking definitely to set down a mark and with the hopes of them being promoted to Tier 1.
Actually, I've actually tipped those two teams to move on to Tier 1, because they have the quality and they have the know-how, they have a good backroom staff as well. And Eli, it all boils down to preparation. I came in very early and when I saw the teams, who was really organized. And you have to be organized on and off the pitch. And when I came in, I could have seen the Vieux South team already set in their ways in their drills in terms of getting warm, whereas Anse was a little late in that regard.
And the action is very frantic early on, as it's a lot of stop-start, and we see some of the teams trying to, both of the teams actually trying to get a foothold in this encounter at the Soufrière Mini Stadium.
Yes, that's what you want. You want to set that team back on its back foot, spread them back, and of course, many times you come into an encounter, but what you want, Eli, is for Vieux South to play their way and Anse to play their way instead of trying to cancel each other out. But let's see which team can impose themselves and pass that ball around how we expect them to. We have a very good surface at the Soufrière Mini Stadium, the right temperature. Early on it was a little drizzle, so ain't no sunshine, a bright light. The stage is actually set for good football, but as of now, the teams haven't found their way in terms of total domination, whether it be in the middle of the pitch or coming out from the back.
Yeah, definitely a little slick on the grass there, which will help the ball to move very quickly. And of course, both of these teams like the ball on the ground. The critic, they like to pass the ball around, draft the ball around, make their way in road, get into the opposition's penalty areas in most instances. And that's what we've been seeing in the opening exchanges.
Yes, of course, Thomas Augustine, who's the head coach, he has his style of play. Definitely, he will want to pass on his philosophy to his team, similar to Jamil for the Vieux team. He has his philosophy as well. And he too will want to impose his way and make sure his team plays in the right tempo of the game and get the better. As we can see Anse just knocking it about. Just a little, just being not too casual, but just feeling that possession, making that possession count, going by line, coming back into infield, trying to thread the ball, but a little too heavy on the touch. But clearly you can see what they're trying to do from the Ancillary team.
And number 10 for Ancillary, Delmani Bertia, will be one to look out for. We just saw a little wayward pass from him there as he's starting to get the feel of things. You did mention that they were a little bit late in terms of their preparation for the match, but I don't think that's going to be worrying them one bit as they win the ball back just on top of the Vieux South penalty area, but Vieux South dealing with that very well.
Yes, indeed. Both teams seem to be very pacey so far. Remember, the game is 90 minutes, so they will definitely have to pace themselves. I don't think they can win the game from the onset, but should they continue, eventually we should see the game reach at the right tempo, right level, and the energy would sap a bit, but as anything else, they'll get to the stage of where that game's supposed to be controlled. As you know, it's just the opening few minutes of the game, so teams are still bursting with energy to get there. You have to get, what you say, like you pass your first set of wind just to get in terms of how the game is supposed to be. So basically that's what's happening right now.
Well, the man in the middle today, Mr. Rene Napoleon, So he's trying to get a handle on the game. Just a foul just blown there in favor of Vieux South. Just on the half line, and they look to push their players forward. That ball chipped in just on top of the penalty area, but Anse, they're in control again, and we just saw the man Berthier right there, and losing out there, but Vieux South back in control of this game.
Yeah, a quick recovery from the Vieux team. Normally what we have seen so far is that every time the ancillary team try to mount an attack, they seem to be trying to attack through the wings. However, the quick response of the Vieux defenders seem to double up on their players and sort of recover that ball as quick as possible. It seems to be an instruction from their coaching staff.
Well, the players look like they are probably starting to settle down just a little bit. Not so frantic in their movement right now, a little bit more controlled. Anse trying to go long and losing out there. And Vieux South looking to try to make some inroads on the top of the box, and that shot high and wide. But the first signs, the first signals being sent across by Vieux South.
Yes, of course, you want to test that goalkeeper, you want to see what he's made of. Interesting now, football, of course, is now being played from the back, so goalkeepers now have to be very good with their feet. We saw the custodian trying to get the better of playing that ball into infield, however, he missed out. And the attacker for the Vieux team wasting no time, but trying to see or find his range, so to speak. So in the meantime, you can see the ball in the half of the Vieux team. Like I mentioned earlier, you see the quick recovery, the quick doubling up, and they have regained control. What we needed to see now is to have him keep that ball a little more and find inroads. Many times, Eli, you see the teams, once they win the ball, they try to rush back onto the opponent's half, but you should spend a little more time in possession and make it more meaningful.
Well, I expect a lot from these two teams. You just said earlier that you tipped the two of them as the two teams who most likely will gain promotion into Tier 1. And I expect a lot from these two teams just based on the leagues that they come from. They have a very storied footballing history, and they both will be looking to make their mark in this semi-professional football league setup.
And don't count out Vieux enough as well. They were very impressive despite it is a Miko in transition team, but I was very much impressed with the Vieux North team last night, the way they controlled that game from the first whistle to the last. So despite me trying to, at least claim the tip those two, but we shouldn't ever count out Vieux North. Again, an attack just a little bit heavy on the touch with the pass, and the goalkeeper just played it in. And here we see how Anse now just trying to come up for the back. Here is Eric, who's sort of like a veteran right now, a young man, but he's been around for quite some time. He plays the right back, former national player, so you could see him now just not using the midfield, but going straight down the byline, and the ball went out of touch, and it's a throw in. It should be
looks like it's a
foul.
foul.
Yes, a foul, and the ball, of course, has been played back to the Vieux South team. I like the uniform as a matter, shocking green with the green and white stripes. So definitely you could see your player once you raise that head, you could definitely see your teammate. This is one of the tricks in the game, Eli. When you play night football, it's always easier to spot your teammate when you have a color that can illuminate and catch the eye one time.
A little reminiscent of the Celtic kit.
Celtic out of Scotland. Yes, that's their favorite color. And recently St. Patrick's Day was last weekend?
Last weekend.
So who knows that they might just be riding the luck of the green and white. Let's see. Let's see how it all pans out for Vieux South. But I like their outfit. I like their setup.
And Vieux South again looking to try to make some inroads. The ball is lost there, and Anse looking to break there, but well dealt with by Vieux South. And once again they're on the ball. Vieux South looking to start taking more and more of the possession, it seems, in this game as they try to settle down.
Yeah, they seem to be finding the way coming out of their own half. I think the trouble that they've had so far is to put it out in the opponent's half and mount some passes together. Here we see should that ball, some more movement is needed, Eli. Eli, when you want to play quick or counter-attacking football, This is why you employ the one touch and the two touch. If you realize when you see you take multiple touches of the football, the opponent closes down on you, and hence the reason why V4 wasn't able to come out. So let's see what Anse can do with this possession. They lost it out, but they're still basically trying to keep that ball within or above or ahead of themselves. And the goalkeeper will come out, instructions, communication from the back. And let's see if they can control. You can see the central defender telling the goalkeeper to calm down. You have at least 6 seconds with that ball, so make it meaningful.
Yeah, and the couple of times that Anse has ventured forward, we have it's sort of come down their left flank, the right side of the Vieux South, but Kendall Clark, number 24 for Vieux South, has been able to deal with what has come his way thus far, as they again try to make inroads, and fantastic save by the Anse custodian. That header was destined for the top right corner, but he had something to say about that.
Good all-around football. The pass, of course, was put in within the 6-yard area. The attacker wasted no time and heading that ball at the goalkeeper, as a matter of fact. Tried his best to get it out, and he did good. As apparently he tried to probably put this one over the bar, but he was able to not held on to it, but just pie it outside for a corner. And let's see if Vieux South can muster a set play and get ahead on this game. Comes into the mid area, center spot. Well defended there by Anse. Still a chance. The attacker hitting this one just over bar. So not bad at all. Good all-around play by both teams, attacking and good defending.
Well, so far, Vieux South seems to have the better of the attacking. I think that's probably their third or fourth attempt on goal. And we saw a little bit of the movement from the Vieux South attacker just a while ago, making that run from the outside shoulder of the defender and bending that run to the inside to get into position to get that header on target. So we'll be keeping a keen eye on that, seeing how Vieux South are able to carve their way closer and closer to the goal of Anse.
I like the tempo of that game, Eli. Both teams seems to be up for it. The energy, you can see the level of the energy that both teams want to play. They're not, they're not wasting time, not trying to, find some hard passes, but it's basically a game I see so far with a good tempo and energy towards it. So like I said earlier, we're in for an exciting one, and we should see how it all boils down, because eventually when those legs get tired and you start to overthink a bit, chances will be created.
Well, that is one of the hallmarks of Anse. They'll tell you that. Thomas Augustin, the head coach, will indicate to you that that's one of the strengths of his team, their level of endurance, their level of fitness. They generally count on that quite a bit, particularly when they are in knockout competition. But this is not a knockout competition, it's the long haul, and points matter. So each team will be looking to see if they can rack up those 3 valuable points early on in the season to lay down a marker.
Sure enough, so we're playing from the back, very confident. Goalkeeper playing this one to the right side. Right side will look for a midfielder. We'll turn and see upfield what's available. This is where players now need to show a through ball. So a little bad pass there per se, but continue to strive with it. And you could hear the crowd already. Nothing has really happened as yet, but you could see or hear the crowd from Anse already wanting an attempt. Not bad at all. I mean, 2 bad passes, however, they were able to keep it together. And here's another opportunity, keeping that ball on the byline. We're looking to quick one-touch play, but good recovery there by
Kendall Clark.
Yeah.
Well, for the first time he got caught on the ball there, and but they were his sweeper came to his rescue. But again, he's back in good stead, able to win that ball back and progress it upfield. Although the Anse player with a little bit of skill there, unfortunate. It looked like it did clip the inside of the heel of the Vieux South player, but the referee's assistant says it's a throw. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There he got it right.
Yeah,
they eventually sorted it out.
He had a little bit of a heavy touch, and he just used the initiative to put in some skill there, and he got fouled. So free kick to Anse. They regain possession, ball in their half of the field. Let's see what they can do in terms of finding the man of field. A pass, not a shot, not enough strength on that pass. Ball going outside, and the throw is awarded to the Anse team. But certainly, it seems to be the crowd seems to be coming alive, Eli. Of course, we mentioned how important the crowd is when it comes to football. We know how important your 12th man is. Two traveling teams playing in another venue, but as we always know, you want to please your community, you want to please your fans. No better time to do it under the lights at the Super Mini Stadium, where your fans will carry you through. But so far, it has been a little topsy-turvy between the two. We can't really say which one, but we have an opportunity. Ball comes in, cut back, good defending there by Anse. Anse making sure that they keep their shape. Another opportunity, balls come across in the 6-yard area, well defended again by Anse. Kind of a wayward attempt, short pass, but that ball will just make it outside. So we see little raids being made, but not consistent in terms of the final passing. But you could see that there is something in the making for both teams. Eventually, they will get it right, because chances, like I said earlier on, will be created. It's a matter of conversion.
And we are still seeing people piling in right here at the Super Mini Stadium. And it's just the first encounter. We expect to see loads more people, because don't forget, in the second matchup of the evening, the home team Sufra will be coming up against, as it's dubbed, their noisy neighbors, Canaries, as we say. Good afternoon to all of those of you watching on the St. Lucia Semi-Professional Football League YouTube channel. Of course, we ask you to like, subscribe, and share, so that many more people can share in the experience that you're having right now. Great football action so far. The matchup has not been disappointing, as Ancillary are breaking again down the left flank, but it again is dealt with by Vieux for South. Ancillary more or less playing a lot on the counter. I know they've been trying to play out of the back a little bit, but as soon as that ball gets into the midfield and looking to go into the final third, it's high-paced action.
Yes, what I've realized also, Eli, is that both wingers for the Ancillary team rely on pace. They're very speedy, hence the reason why they have this counter-attack style. So it's a plan that they clearly see that they're working on. So if they get that going forward, but interesting enough too, with that pace that they have, Vieux South have remained very steady at the back and been able to deliver those raids or those counter-attacks so far. So both teams seems to be counter-attacking. Here's a one from midfielder trying to on a audacious strike. I don't think he'll be too pleased about it. Might get instructions from his teammates to say, let's keep that ball a bit. But back to what you said in terms of the counter-attack and the pace, it seems to be the strength of the Ancillary team. But so far, the Vieux defenders have been able to deal with it.
But despite that, though, Tennyson, we see Vieux South keeping a very high line in an attempt to stay compact and string passes together as they try to encroach on the penalty box of the Ancillary team. And again, we see an opportunity for a counter-attack by Ancillary. That pass just a little wayward, taking the attacker out wide, and the ball coming into the box. The Manny Burfia is on the ball right now. A little bit of skill, and that shot coming in there just over the crossbar. The Vieux South custodian would have been saying some prayers there.
I'll tell you what, had that gone in, that would probably been the goal of the tournament so far. Clearly, he can see that he's up for it. The solid skill displayed by the youngster, and just going over the upright. Again, you can see them still jostling, trying to put that early press on the Vieux South team. This Ancillary team is certainly up for this encounter.
And Vieux South again on the ball. Ancillary winning it back, but the Manny Burfia is down to the just towards the sideline there. Don't know if he tweaked something on that attempt. See him pulling on his toe. Don't know if it's it definitely has something to do with his lower leg. Hopefully he can get through it. That would be very concerning. He seems to be the focal point of the attack of the Ancillary team thus far.
Yeah, he seems to be the talisman. Some good skill, some good pace, some good trickery exhibited by him. It is down for some attention. Doesn't seem to be too serious. I can see he just mentioning to the official and his teammate that probably just need a little attention. But I don't think we should be too worried about him. But he looks quite a prospect.
Yeah. Well, so far we are in the 22nd minute of this encounter, and it's not failed to disappoint at all. The lone shot we've seen on the Vieux South goal from Damani Burfier was probably the closest attempt of the game thus far, critic.
Yes, indeed. Again, what I like too is that the players are not, wanting to walk into the box to take their shots. There are opportunities available when you get past your man. Something that we always spoke about in local football. Many times you see players try to score the perfect goal, but this time we see two teams not wasting any opportunity. Should that ball come through or they get a chance, they'll have a snap at it. So Burfier, good intent so far. Let's see if goes Vieux South now can answer in such a fashion.
And shooting from outside the box is a little bit of a hallmark of Anse. I remember times of Ben, we call him Satan, that trusty left foot would hit some thunder shots from outside of the box. So definitely Anse is not afraid to pull the trigger at any point that they get a sight of goal. Vieux South we've seen sort of similar, but mixing it up just a little bit. Combination play, trying to get into the box, crosses, and a little bit of shooting from the outside as well. So far, from my observation, I would say Vieux South maybe just slightly edging the encounter, critic?
I'd say, yeah, by about 51% thereabout. But the impressive, or the one who actually got persons off their seat would have been Burfier from Anse. So the game is in the balance.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering the composition of this crowd, how many followers from Anse would have come in versus Vieux South. I'm wondering if the Vieux are waiting for the tournament to get to their neck of the woods before they show up.
I did get some messages that some persons from Vieux South are on their way. They should be probably, who knows, just on the outside making their way in because it's a sort of like a cross-country trip for them, whereas Anse is just up the road. But trust me, both teams would have their backing. So let's see. When a goal score, we'll definitely see which one has the backing. Per se, but clearly for now we can see the crowd is in the favor of the ancillary team.
Yeah. Well, goal click for Vieux South. The custodian belting that one just up to just about half line, and Vieux South on the ball again. That's a wayward pass from Clark. He's seen a lot of the ball thus far in this encounter, whether it be winning it back or starting to build up the attack from the back for the Vieux South team. So Vieux South again is on the ball.
The little Frenchman there, players just trying to get their skill to get by. Probably just needed to one touch or two touch. But the game in itself, despite both teams wanting to win, is been played at a very good, not friendly, but not too feisty per se. You can see both teams respecting each other, trying to cancel out each other, and the players are actually, basically checking for one another, should they have fouled each other. So the game has been played in such a good spirit. And this is what the semi-pro league want to exhibit. As much as it's a competition, Eli, we want to ensure that the game is played in a good spirit, a good discipline, as we've been seen so far.
Another ball lofted into the ancillary penalty area, but they've dealt with it. Although Vieux South has won the ball back now. And shot faint right there. But not able to deal with that. Vieux South again with a little bit of a flop on the shot there, but they're still in contention, still have the ball, and that shot coming in there from Vieux South again, targeting that right-hand corner. You would think that they probably had a scouting report done on the ancillary custodian. They seem to be targeting that top right corner of the ancillary goal.
Yeah, I think what it is that you have a left footer playing on the right side. So when he comes in now, this is why he uses his left foot to get across. But clearly they aiming for that section of the goal, and it's good build up, good hit by the attacker. And like I said earlier, the game is in the balance. Both teams have chances, both teams trying to create chances, but it's all about putting the ball at the back of the net.
That was the number 7, Sean Alfred, for Vieux South, with that shot just over the bar, just about 20-25 yards out. And Vieux South stringing some passes together again, but once again we see Ancillary being able to just snuff out the attack. The dangerous attacks we've seen by Vieux South thus far, outside of the header that was just inside of the penalty area have all come from outside the box.
Yes, of course, again, that is because the defense, they're going nowhere. They're not going to be, fooled or pulled out based upon what they're doing. They're very steady at the back and they keep their position and they keep their shape. You often have the word shape in football, and it's so vital because you have to attack as a team and defend as well. So the two central defenders for Anse Raye team ensure that despite they're on the wave of attack, but they keep the shape, thereby restricting the Vieux team to shots from outside the box area.
Yeah, and the game has sort of simmered down a little bit in terms of tempo, not as frantic as the opening 10 minutes. We see the pace coming in bursts now, more controlled bursts of pace as opposed to the frantic nature. The teams sort of have, if you want to say, gone through the feeling out phase. I think, Vieux South are looking to try to impose themselves on this matchup, but Anse Raye have been pretty resolute thus far. All right, and they won the ball again, looking to break out on Vieux South, keeping possession very well there. That's Sylvester Sonson, it looks like.
Or
it's Adriano Ogis.
He seems to be the one pulling the strings in midfield for Anse. As a matter of fact, he draws a lot of attention. However, he seems to be carrying that ball and using his little size as an advantage. So that is something the coaches on the Vieux South can look forward to. Here we have a break where we have a 2-on-4 situation, ball trying to be placed through the defense of the Anse Raye team, unable to pass. So Vieux South still keeps possession. They're going to try a right side attack. However, the defense still holding their own. Ball comes across the top of the area, goes back out wide by Vieux South. Cross should be coming out the penalty area. Here is a feeble attempt, but they still keep possession and they're still wanting to cross that ball. This time going there you go, and the goalkeeper making a fancy save out of this one. So far, you could see both teams, Eli, are trying to find a way in the 6-yard area or in the final third area, not just being able to make that telling pass to get that shot how you want it, but the custodian in goal for Anse Raye, certainly, whatever comes his way, he hasn't made a meal out of it, but keeping it safe at the back for the Anse Raye team.
And we just spoke about Vieux South being restricted to taking shots from mainly outside the box, but we just saw 2 attempts there from inside of the box. They've been probing and they're getting closer and closer to the Anse Raye goal as we see them on top of the box again, and that ball is looking to be played in. They're still there. That shot comes off, blocked by the number 5 for Anse Raye, that's Sylvester Sonson there. And that shot just petering away and allowing the Anse Raye custodian to get onto that booth here. Not able to control that and then committing a foul in the midfield. Not too much of a dangerous position, but one that will allow the Vieux South attackers to get into the box and see if they can throw one in there and cause some trouble again.
Yeah, what you need now is probably your tall attackers or your tall players. If you have central defenders who can get in there and put in a header on target, but that pass has to be creative, that pass has to be on point, and also come in with a little more pace. But we've seen sometimes that they have crossed the balls, whether it be from free kicks or in open play, the cross doesn't come with a little more, need to come with a little more fizz so that you could get that neck muscle in there. Because you see, when that ball comes lofted, it doesn't augur well for the attacker because he has too much to do, much to do into it. So let's see if they're going to take the direct route, or let's see they're going to put a little fizz on this one.
So Vieux South over the ball. Another attempt from distance.
That's going to be very, very difficult.
That's going to be disappointing. I'm looking across to the Vieux South bench. Let me see the expression of the coach, because you would think that he would not want to shoot from that distance.
Just keep possession. What you should have done, just keep possession. Keep possession, draw the defense out, and try to find some open lines or some gaps within play and put that ball through. They chose another route, but they were not successful. So then again, possession goes back through a goal kick for the Anse Raye team, and a foul in midfield, whilst the Vieux South team seems to have now sort of a mid-press, Eli, not a full press. Earlier on you saw them jostling and trying to suffocate the players, but now you see they have withdrawn their press. That will probably be from instructions from the bench to say, well, you know what, we have hit a certain mark in the game, let us withdraw ourselves a bit to ensure that we can go the full 90 with this team to gather the 3 points. A recent attack by Vieux going to the left side, He'll look up field and see what's available. Try to push on his man. They send the wing back loses out. That ball's come back to the right side now for Anse, trying to put some pace and some strength. And the referee will play some advantage play right there. The player continues. Here's another chance. Here's Vieux. Let's see what he can muster up. Here's the wing back. Still maintaining possession. That is the Anse team, and they're smothered out of it.
Losing out, but
and we see Vieux South coming out with the football. So now they would want to retain possession. However, they're still fighting and ensuring to make it uncomfortable for Vieux South with the little niggles of tackles there by the Anse team for control. Control now over to the Vieux team, trying to put the ball through from on top of the area, but being unsuccessful.
How much do you think Anse sort of miss Dijal Augustin in the midfield?
You say miss. The entire community miss Dijal Augustin because basically he's the heart and soul of this ancillary footballing community. Oftentimes we talk about football and how important it is. Football is like a mainstay for the ancillary community. So Dijal Augustin, of course, who plays his straight overseas in terms of school. I don't think he's finished just yet, but he is the one who can galvanize the community, galvanize the team, and by his influential plays all around skills, that team would fare much better. So they miss him a whole lot, not only in the football, but as a community.
Yeah, and Vieux South again on the ball, probing. What's been impressive thus far for me, Tennyson, is to see how the attackers of Vieux South make their runs. They've been able to get in and around the ancillary defenders, and almost at will being able to get shots off at the ancillary custodian. Their movement has been excellent so far in the game.
Yes, the movement as a matter of fact has been excellent, but what we want to see now, despite the movement being excellent, try something different. Probably one player could stick up on the center back and play the ball into his feet and have players move around him rather than doing the same thing over and over. Because if you do the same thing over and over and you're not too successful, the defenders get comfortable with what you're doing. So try something as you go along, but it's not bad in terms of what Vieux South is trying to do, but they need to do a little better just to throw off the concentration and focus of the central defenders and wing defenders for the ancillary team.
And we see Vieux South on the attack again, probing, getting the ball into the box, and as we indicate, and soft. This time, it doesn't go into the top right corner, it goes into the bottom right corner. A header there, and Vieux South have taken the lead. I can't say it's surprising though, critic. Can't say it's surprising at all.
Remember, I just told you they need to do something different. So, apart from the movement, here they tried something faint in the area, and all the big shots, they were able to deal with it, but something with a different route. There we see Vieux South taking the lead 1-0, and the goalkeeper just not able, but that ball was just hit just right. Just right. Faint to a certain extent. Yeah, to a certain extent, but just right. And that in itself now would be the right timing for Vieux South. I think we're pretty close to the half time, so the plans would have to change. Most definitely the ancillary team now would have to change the approach because they need goals. They need to come out from the defense now and see. But very good goal there by Vieux South. Let's see how they can carry on within the first half.
Well, just about 10 minutes left now in the half, and of course with whatever additional time that René Napoleon sees fit to put on in the game. But whereas Ancillary will be disappointed, Vieux South will feel that they had that coming to them.
Yeah, they have tried constantly. Had them want another rate. Let's see if they can progress. But the thing about it, Eli, they haven't stopped. Despite some good saves by the goalkeeper, they never stopped, throwing those shots at him. And when they sort of took the shine of the attack, that is when they were able to get past him. So it's something to work on, something to build on. But instructions will be coming from both coaching staff to deal with the game as we progress now pretty late into the first half.
Yeah, and the couple of the ancillary players look a little bit agitated, maybe a little upset that they gave up what appeared to be a soft goal, but as you indicated, that header was just finessed and caressed, around the ancillary custodian. And ancillary need to definitely compose themselves and get back. And they're into the box right now, and a shot rifled over the crossbar, way over the crossbar. But we've seen some intent from ancillary.
Yes, they won't trust me. Like Summers Augustine will not have those youngsters, lay back. They will certainly still want to play as normal to ensure that they keep it in the balance. We saw an attempt there, sort of an acute angle. The attacker going for power. Probably he could have kept that ball a bit. Who knows? Probably employ a little Cruyffton, a little trickery on the defender. But again, it still is in the favor of 1-0 for the Vieux South team. But like I mentioned earlier, Summers Augustine will not have those youngsters stay back. They want to express themselves. They have the backing of the crowd. They are not far from home. They know the rivalry to a certain extent with this Vieux South team. Because I remember some umpteen years ago, there was a very young team from Anse who took Vieux South to the brink, of almost elimination in a back competition down at the Philip Master ground. So history has a lot to do with it as well. But youngsters with that sort of energy will continue to play and see what they can get out of this game.
And speaking about famous footballing names, we mentioned Trent Alexander, but it's Obafemi Poyot, another footballing name there, Obafemi, getting on the score sheet in the 35th minute, number 19 for Vieux South with that finessed header around the Anse custodian.
Yeah, famous names, when you have family who played football, you often name your kids. You want to keep that momentum going, keep that drive going, so at least you have your son play and give him a famous name. Some of them don't live up to the hype.
Like Raye rings a bell.
My son name is Raye Khan. Yeah. But you know how it is. You make them, but you don't have them. You can only make them, but not, it's up to them to take their path. But it's all well and good. But like we mentioned, good Obafemi with Trent. I like to see youngsters express themselves, and this is the avenue that the Semi-Pro League, he'll coughed one up a bit. Situation created there. The goalkeeper needs to stay focused, not sell this game or open this game for
South. If you ask me.
Yeah. You almost gift an opportunity.
And the Manny Bullfairs on the attack again, trying to shield that ball. Draws a foul.
He needs to stay.
Draws a foul.
Now you see, this is where the technical aspect of the game comes in. Eli, the number 9, Bullfair going nowhere. He has no support. Basically, just keep the player in check, but not tackle. As the competition grows, definitely they will get wiser and get more experience in those instances. Like I mentioned earlier, this is what the Semi-Pro provides, a platform for youngsters to express themselves, to become better human beings, become better footballers at what they do. And certainly so far, despite they being one down, I had a chicken bake there by the attacker, ball placed into the 6-yard area, central defender just sweeping it out, and Vieux South regaining possession. Tries to find his man upfield on the left side of attack. Tries to outpace the defender, but not able. Right now, Eli, a little moisture on the pitch. I think earlier there were some showers, so players need to have the right footwear to avoid slipping and all those sort of things. So we're in for a treat, I'm thinking there are more goals to come in this game.
Well, a slick play by the ball as well, because the ball will scoot across that pitch. As you mentioned, a little moisture on the ground there. But answering now are starting to become a little bit more proactive. It appears that the game plan in the early throes of this match is sort of out the window, and obviously for good reason, because they're behind in this game, not by a wide margin, but obviously they don't want the game to get away from them. Yeah,
they will come. This is answering for you. Answering with another team that will sit back and defend, and they won't do it anyway. You're already down 1. So express yourself, come up a little higher, and of course, like you can see, now they're putting a little higher up the pitch, trying to see if they can get a goal before the first half is over. Like earlier when I saw Summers in his technical area belting out some instructions. So clearly, like you mentioned, Eli, the game plan has changed, and so we want to get back in this encounter.
And definitely showing the impetus. A little bit of skill there on the ball again from the Anse player as they're probing forward. Again, getting into the box of Vieux South, but that being mopped up quite neatly, and Vieux South on the attack again.
Yeah, they played out nicely. Let's see if they can keep their composure and make that telling pass. Good skill. A little too much. A foul on the centre back. Get up and play, player. Get up and play. That has already passed. Seems he's going to be dished out a yellow card as well.
Yeah. Was a little late there.
Yeah, but also he carried this ball a little too much. When he got past the 2 players, he probably could have just put his ball to the byline to change a point of attack. But Fury carried, and when he realized he was losing the ball, that's why he dished out in terms of the tackling. But players will learn. They're still young, Eli. They're still young. as you go along, you gain experience. So, you know, these are sort of things that you need to learn from games, because every game is going to be different as you practice tactics and what have you, your personal development, your skill, your duels, all those things will come into play, but that comes with time.
That player fouled there for Anse, number 13, Eric Gabriel. He's back up, so nothing major. It was definitely not a sinister tackle, just a little bit mistimed, a little bit late there, and getting a caution for that. Anse winning the ball back again, and they are once again probing. But you think Anse probably needs to try to see if they can, you know, string some passes together and get that ball into the box like we've seen happen on the right flank. On the left flank, it seems like they're just looking for that telling through ball and looking for the pace of the left winger. But on the right flank, they seem to be, and there's a hit, a vicious hit from about 30 yards out, but never troubling the Vieux South custodian.
Interesting enough, their build-up seems to be more patient and more, you know, sound on the right side. However, I can see Vieux has changed position a bit. He was playing earlier on the left side of attack, but I see he has gone more into midfield per se. So again, it could be instructions from the bench trying to just tweak the formation, or probably just trying to throw off the opposition by changing the attack and changing players thereabouts. So it's something that they probably have tried, and here we see a delicate chip there that would have to be perfect to be played into the area. Again, like I mentioned, Vieux, he will shift his position. So Summers and his team trying something to put off the defense of the Vieux South team, but the Vieux South team remains very sound in what they're doing, and they remain leading that game 1-0. And we see a punt upfield, and possession remains for the Vieux South team, but it seems to be a handle ball, so the possession will now go to the Anse team. It seems like the Anse team need a little refresher. They need some instructions. They need some water. They need, you know, they need a jolt of energy after they were just pegged back by this soft finish in the area earlier on. So I think they will be begging for halftime, which is not too far from now, Eli. So let's see that Anse would not want to concede. Likewise, Vieux, but let us see if Anse can make amends or make profit from this free kick. Got into the area.
Sailed in and
not
spilled,
comfortable,
but,
not comfortable.
Recovered by the custodian. Just for those of you who are wondering on our YouTube stream, that booking was received by Moses Henry, number 11, for Vieux South, player out of Platinum FC. Getting that booking in the 42nd minute. So he will definitely be cautious now. Of course, he's an attacking player, so he will probably be a little bit more reserved than why he sticks his foot in.
Most definitely. When you get a card, especially in the first half, you have to temper yourself. You have to ensure that you keep your head, your concentration, to avoid any situation that you have your team being down to 10 men. So players need to be cautious of this as well. Instructions from the bench, the captains, everybody, the senior figures on the field need to ensure that the players stay within the whole realm of not, you know, losing out. I received the instructions there by the official. I think we have an extra 2 minutes in terms of the end for the first half that's been pointed out, but possession remains for Anse. Of course, if you just join in on our stream, Anse is in the black and white, and of course the Vieux South team in the traditional green and white. Earlier on, Eli mentioned they look like Celtic out of Glasgow in Scotland. So they lead 1-0, the Vieux team. Or one just in the area, they aimlessly, Vieux South team being able to recover that ball again just to no one. And we see Eric trying to search for his attacker on the left side, and Slurry trying to string some passes together. Yeah, good touch right there, another touch. However, going afoot and just going straight to the opponent. Eric Gabriel being able to intercept and of course give it away as well. So, good trickery there by the number 8 for Vieux South. However, the pass in the final third was not what he wanted. Recovery again back to Vieux South. Here we see a ball to the byline. Eli, here we can see a chance for Vieux South. Should they be able to put this ball across? They go to the foot and they send it back. Here again, okay, it's going to be a corner in favor of the Vieux South team. But again, you see them trying to put those passes within the 12-yard area. This is where the composure is needed, but able to find the right player. So it's a corner for Vieux South.
And of course, the crowd is continuing to build here at the Soufre Mini Stadium. Definitely the interest in the semi-professional football league is there. People would think that probably the players would be more concerned with the league because of the remuneration on offer, but definitely the fans are there and they're there in numbers to support their team.
Yes, of course. I think it works hand in hand. I always often tell persons that once football is organized, Eli, persons will come out and support the various, whether it be club, whether it be country, whether it be district. Once it is organized, persons will certainly come out. We see the goalkeeper for the V4 team going down. He's going to be getting some medical attention right now, so definitely we have to keep our eye on this one. We will see. I think when he collected the ball earlier, he may have just slipped. So let's see some attention for him. And of course, should he need to be replaced, he will be replaced, but very rare that you see a goalkeeper go down. But let's keep our eyes on it. In the meantime, we can see a little trickery there by Vieux in terms of, are they going to go short? Are they going to go to the first pole? Are we going to be going to the center part of the area, the penalty spot? So let's see what comes out of it. But so far, so good at the Super Mini Stadium. Nice little build-up, nice little crowd supporting Vieux Ancillary. And of course, to come the blockbuster match tonight, where we'll see the home team Soufrière do battle against their neighbors, Canaries.
Noisy neighbors, you say, or just neighbors?
Just neighbors, just neighbors. Because certainly, in terms of the derby, Soufrière has a massive lead over them. So I would say just neighbors, but it can get noisy.
All right. Some treatment meted out to the Vieux South custodian. He seems to be okay. And René Napoleon scurrying across the field now to restart the match. So throw in for Vieux South.
Oh, it's a throw in. I thought it was a corner. Okay, throw in.
That ball just scurrying out there. The play petering out. Only 2 minutes of additional time signaled by the fourth official. Obviously, it's more than 2 minutes ago that happened. But there goes the whistle for halftime, right on cue. The injury to the Vieux South custodian would have just slowed them down just a little bit. So it's the first half of Tier 2 action right here at the Soufrière Mini Stadium. Vieux South 1-0 over Anse Raye.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the horizon. Lessons are learned, friendships are forged, and strength is birthed from within. Beyond tactics and goals, we strive as a team. With discipline and perseverance, we advance. Through every kick, stumble, and victory, our lives are changing, and together we rise.
It's not just a game. Football is our life.
The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League, leveraging football to transform lives.
Transforming St. Lucia through football innovation and excellence. The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League provides a pathway for the professional and personal development of young footballers, leading to community enhancement across Ireland.
Great opportunity!
In 2024, 10 district leagues will compete for the Premier Cup and 9 district leagues will face off for the Super Cup. 81 games in 4 venues. Come support your community as you witness the first ever St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League Championships. Competitive football, passionate players, and striking goals.
And it's in!
In collaboration with the government of St. Lucia and the St. Lucia Football Association, the Semi-Pro Football League is leveraging football to transform lives.
And so the referee brings the 90 minutes to an end.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the horizon. Lessons are learned, friendships are forged, and strength is birthed from within. Beyond tactics and goals, we strive as a team. With discipline and perseverance, we advance. Through every kick, stumble, and victory, our lives are changing, and together we rise.
It's not just a game. Football is our life.
The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League, leveraging football to transform lives.
Transforming St. Lucia through football innovation and excellence. The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League provides a pathway for the professional and personal development of young footballers, leading to community enhancement across Ireland.
Great opportunity!
In 2024, 10 district leagues will compete for the Premier Cup and 9 district leagues will face off for the Super Cup. 81 games in 4 venues. Come support your community as you witness the first ever St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League Championships. Competitive football, passionate players, and striking goals.
And it's in!
In collaboration with the government of St. Lucia and the St. Lucia Football Association, the Semi-Pro Football League is leveraging football to transform lives.
And so the referee brings the 90 minutes to an end.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the horizon. Lessons are learned, friendships are forged, and strength is birthed from within. Beyond tactics and goals, we strive as a team. With discipline and perseverance, we advance. Through every kick, stumble, and victory, our lives are changing, and together we rise.
It's not just a game. Football is our life.
The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League, leveraging football to transform lives.
Transforming St. Lucia through football innovation and excellence. The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League provides a pathway for the professional and personal development of young footballers, leading to community enhancement across Ireland.
Great opportunity!
In 2024, 10 district leagues will compete for the Premier Cup and 9 district leagues will face off for the Super Cup. 81 games in 4 venues. Come support your community as you witness the first ever St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League Championships. Competitive football, passionate players, and striking goals.
And it's in!
In collaboration with the government of St. Lucia and the St. Lucia Football Association, the Semi-Pro Football League is leveraging football to transform lives.
And so the referee brings the 90 minutes to an end.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the horizon. Lessons are learned, friendships are forged, and strength is birthed from within. Beyond tactics and goals, we strive as a team. With discipline and perseverance, we advance. Through every kick, stumble, and victory, our lives are changing, and together we rise.
It's not just a game. Football is our life.
The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League, leveraging football to transform lives.
Transforming St. Lucia through football innovation and excellence. The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League provides a pathway for the professional and personal development of young footballers, leading to community enhancement across Ireland.
Great opportunity.
In 2024, 10 district leagues will compete for the Premier Cup and 9 district leagues will face off for the Super Cup. 81 games in 4 venues. Come support your community as you witness the first ever St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League Championships. Competitive football, passionate players, and striking goals.
And it's in.
In collaboration with the government of St. Lucia and the St. Lucia Football Association, the Semi-Pro Football League is leveraging football to transform lives.
And so the referee brings the 90 minutes to an end.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the horizon. Lessons are learned, friendships are forged, and strength is birthed from within. Beyond tactics and goals, we strive as a team. With discipline and perseverance, we advance. Through every kick, stumble, and victory, our lives are changing, and together we rise.
It's not just a game. Football is our life.
The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League, leveraging football to transform lives.
Transforming St. Lucia through football innovation and excellence. The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League provides a pathway for the professional and personal development of young footballers, leading to community enhancement across Ireland.
Great opportunity.
In 2024, 10 district leagues will compete for the Premier Cup and 9 district leagues will face off for the Super Cup. 81 games in 4 venues. Come support your community as you witness the first ever St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League Championships. Competitive football, passionate players, and transforming St. Lucia through football innovation and excellence. The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League provides a pathway for the professional and personal development of young footballers, leading to community enhancement across Ireland.
Great opportunity.
In 2024, 10 district leagues will compete for the Premier Cup and 9 district leagues will face off for the Super Cup. 81 games in 4 venues. Come support your community as you witness the first ever St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League Championships. Competitive football, passionate players, and striking goals.
And it's in.
In collaboration with the government of St. Lucia and the St. Lucia Football Association, the Semi-Pro Football League is leveraging football to transform lives.
And so the referee brings the 90 minutes to an end.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the horizon. Lessons are learned, friendships are forged, and strength is birthed from within. Beyond tactics and goals, we strive as a team. With discipline and perseverance, we advance. Through every kick, stumble, and victory, our lives are changing, and together we rise.
It's not just a game. Football is our life.
The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League, leveraging football to transform lives.
Transforming St. Lucia through football innovation and excellence. The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League provides a pathway for the professional and personal development of young footballers, leading to community enhancement across Ireland.
Great opportunity.
In 2024, 10 district leagues will compete for the Premier Cup and 9 district leagues will face off for the Super Cup. 81 games in 4 venues. Come support your community as you witness the first ever St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League Championships. Competitive football, passionate players, and striking goals.
And it's in.
In collaboration with the government of St. Lucia and the St. Lucia Football Association, the Semi-Pro Football League is leveraging football to transform lives.
And so the referee brings the 90 minutes to an end.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the
Welcome back to the Soufriere Mini Stadium as we get set to kick off the second half of the Semi-Professional Football League Tier 2 match between Anse, Raye and Vieux South. Of course, Vieux South leading the encounter 1-0 from the boots of Obafemi Poyot, right? Under 15, former under 15 national player, as Vieux South in the lead, and very much looking towards the second half. Critic, we saw some exciting football that first half.
Yes, indeed, and it will continue because, of course, the Vieux team would want to progress because they want to secure the 3 points. And as you well know, Eli, a 1-0 goal is not safe. That's one of the worst leads you could have is 1-0 or 2-1 lead. So definitely instructions have been dished out between the second half by both coaches. Let us see what shape both teams will take in terms of attacking, in terms of defending. I think they have some logistics being ironed out on the officials' table right now before we resume action. But we're still in for some action because, like I tell you, 3 points are so vital. When you're in Tier 2, trying to make your way up to Tier 1, every point counts. Goal difference, goal against, goal. Every single statistic counts because you really want to get out of Tier 2. I think a substitution is being made, Eli, so we'll get that information to our viewers shortly. I think it was number 7 was being shown, so we'll get that information for you. The viewers, and we want to encourage viewers to share the stream. Of course, text your friends, let them know that St. Lucia has what is called a Semi-Pro Football League, a first of its kind, very innovative by the St. Lucian government, to dish out some funds in the direction of football. As you well know, football is a global game, the most popular game in the world. So second half action resumes, and clearly you could see the onset by the Anse team. It was a quick rush up the sideline, but unable to get past the defender for Vieux South.
Well, that substitution that you just mentioned, Erickson Reed McGlaw, number 7, coming in and replacing Sylvester Sonson. I think Sonson was on a yellow card from the first half, so maybe precaution there by the Anse, or maybe tactical, who knows. Definitely looking forward to seeing the tactical approach of the two teams. We kind of saw varying tactics throughout the first half. We saw the game start off at a sort of frantic pace, simmer down a little bit. Vieux South taking most of the possession, and they're on again, offside call there.
Very much outside, of course. The attacker should have timed his run, and that would have probably been executed perfectly, but he was able to move ahead of what it is. And again, players need to be a little smarter just to check the line before you make that run to ensure that you remain onside, but it comes with experience as well. So let us see its possession to the Anse team. Points up field. However, not finding his man, and possession is back to the Vieux South team. Vieux South, of course, they lead 1-0. They won't sit on their laurels. They want to increase that lead. Here we see Lucia making his way in attack. Here we see, seems to be the main man for Anse. He wears number 10, the famous number 10. Number 10 is a famous number. When you carry number 10, you have to carry the entire team on your back, and by extension, the community.
Yeah, and we saw good tackle there from the Anse player. Vieux South was trying to make inroads and get into the box. The second half, though, Tennyson, or the first half, I should say, ended with Anse slightly on the front foot, going down by that goal. Definitely gave them the impetus for them to go forward a little bit more. So let's see how they start off the second half.
Sure bet. In the meantime, let's take in this corner in favor of the Vieux South team. It will be an in-swinger. Let us see how the Anse team can defend this one. I think we have another situation where the goalkeeper is down again for the Vieux team. Earlier in the first half, or towards the end of the second half, we saw a similar situation. This looks like it's really grimacing in pain this time around. So who knows? You might see a substitution.
Well, the substitute goalkeeper is warming up.
Yeah, it looks like he can't carry on, but
it looks like he has a substitution card in his hand as well.
Yeah. So he might just come on. So it's a chance for us to just scope through the crowd. As we saw some famous faces. I saw the heart and soul of support for Vieux South, moving Coco Bellas. There is Passy as well. He's a guy who follows football island-wide. We saw the Honorable Minister of Sport as well, Kenson Kazime Eli. So lots of familiar faces making the rounds in the semi-pro league.
There's also a contingent from FIFA and SLFA contingent as well. Some officiating courses going on currently on island. So definitely people have come down to watch the football, and we expect more people to pile into the Soufrière Mini Stadium as we approach the second game of the evening, the much anticipated West Coast Derby between Canaries and the Soufrière.
A derby is a derby. Come what may, even if one team has dominated, but it's a different match. It's a different match day. Something's got to give. I'm certainly going to look forward to this derby as well. Soufrière known for the exploits in domination of the derby, but let us not count out Canaries. We heard David Henry on our program on Friday, and there we can see the change being made actually. And that would be for the Vieux team. So the goalkeeper is being changed, so we'll get his name for you. Seems to be a stout figure in the goal, not as small as the keeper who got injured. So let's see if he can make a difference. But it's still 1-0 in favor of Vieux South. They have a corner towards the top end of the playing field of the Soufrière Mini Stadium. Let's see if they can get a bonus in terms of the set play. Like I said,
Antonio Reed in for Kimani John, the substitute goalkeeper. And coincidentally, both goalkeepers from the Victory Eagles Club.
Well, let's see if that can steer Vieux South into victory, because the name is synonymous with Victory Eagles. But again, here we have a through ball there. Good defending there by Anse. Interesting too as well, Eli. You may see those balls, those through balls being played, but clearly you could see, despite the Anse team being one down, they are marking and tracking the opponents. This is very vital. I mean, you can mark, but certainly if the ball goes beyond you, you have to track as well. So players seem to have an all-around concept of what they want to do when it comes to Anse, despite they being down 1-0.
You could definitely see the quality of these two teams, albeit they are in Tier 2. But as you tipped earlier on, they look very well poised to be in contention for promotion into Tier 1. The quality of these two teams definitely not lacking, and the tactical prowess of the coaches on display this afternoon, or this evening I should say.
Certainly so. That's what we want to see in the semi-pro league. Quality, as anything else, it's not going to happen overnight, but clearly we've been treated so far by two teams, despite being in Tier 2, giving us a full semblance of what they intend to do, and so far so good. I think the coaches would be proud. It's just a matter of, let's see if the Anse team can mount a comeback. But we've been pleased by the all-around play of both teams. We see both teams keeping their shape, passing the football, not being afraid to hold on to the football or calling for passes in between space and what have you. So it's been a good all-around concept of what both teams are trying to do, and that can only get better. So if they can keep it up, like I said, they can promote themselves to Tier 1. Here's another corner. This one is the outswinger as well, and they missed out on the opportunity. So it is the poor retention right there, poor recovery right there. The ball going straight back to the.
Well, whilst we were speaking, another substitution made by Vieux for South. Martin Tal, number 15, coming in for Eddie Jean-Baptiste, number 2, exiting the match. So 2 substitutions made by Vieux for South within the first couple minutes of the second half.
Would that be a technical or probably injury? Well, I know the goalkeeper, of course, was an injury, so they were forced into a change, but I suspect the other one is a little more technical, probably some new ideas, an injection of pace, or what have you. So Vieux for South, again, not wanting to sleep on the opportunities, but of course wanting to increase their lead, so by making those changes as they see fit. Within the setup of the matches, persons making their way. Some a little late, but of course better late than never, because everybody has who they want to support. Now Eli, we don't know the names of the stands, so we probably have to say left wing and right wing. So this is the left wing, this is the left wing, this is the left wing, and this is the right. Meantime, ball comes across in the area. Goalkeeper just coming in, his first contribution to the match, and thereby making a telling save and just going down on this one. Yeah, so goes Anse before South, they continue the lead, playing from the back, plays to the right side, ball plays into midfield. But there you have the Anse team recovering pretty well and trying to mount an attack. You see Vieux trying to make some headway upfield, and now we see the ball being spread to the right side of the attack for Anse. Not bad at all, good catch, good control. But the steadiness of the defense of the Vieux team tells a lot, and they've been able to keep that ball. Now they're trying to get into midfield. Poor pass right there, however, number 7 putting that ball through. Here's a situation, and that should be a strike for Anse.
And who else?
Finding himself in the right position. A wonderful pass, just chipped over the defense of the Vieux team. Again, that led to a bad pass from midfield, so definitely the Anse team capitalizing. Many times, Eli, we talk about bad passes or a ball being gifted to you. However, you have to make the amends for the situation, and we've seen Anse doing just that.
And what we saw in this scenario, the composure by Damani Berthier, he could have easily snatched at that, hit that over bars, hit it onto the goalkeeper, but he took his time, composed himself, and it was a clinical strike. Definitely him being the catalyst for Anse thus far. Everything Anse has done going forward has gone through the boots of Damani Berthier.
Yes, a very good finish, like you mentioned. Calm in the area, poise in the area. They're slotting this one home, injecting some excitement in the stands. The Anse fans are elated. They have all the right to, the game is now poised at 1 apiece. So football definitely is on tonight in this Tier 2 encounter.
Feels like, almost feels like a Tier 1 encounter, if you ask me. The amount of tactical nous we've seen on display, the skill we've seen on display, the composure we've seen on display. 1-1 is not a flattering scoreline at all. In the earlier exchanges of the first half, Vieux was definitely beginning to get a foothold on the game. But it almost seemed that as if when Anse went down by a goal, the whole vibe, the whole energy, and of course the tactical approach changed. They came out, they came at them, they started the second half on the front foot as well, coming at them, and they got the rewards.
Most definitely. I remember we spoke about the philosophy of the coaches, and I mentioned to you earlier that Summers Augustine will not sit back and let this team, sulk. They will play, and they will play till the 90 minutes, because you have a young bunch, they're full of energy, and you have them playing on the front foot. That was clearly a front foot situation. Opportunity given, opportunity taken, and now we move on into the counter. It's up to Vieux South now to respond. Let us see if they can lift their supporters, because they need the support right now. They're playing away, and let's see what they can do. But so far, I'm so much happy in terms of what I'm seeing in terms of the quality of this Tier 2 encounter, and it can only beg better as we go along with the competition, because I can tell you, Eli, teams are spirited by performances. And we see it mounting here again, another loose pass by Vieux South. Good composure, regaining that football, regaining possession of that football by Anse, trying to get a ball upfield. They still have control about it. The ball was, taken off his man, and that would go right side now. So we have a good balance in the game. Now it's 1-1, and something's got to give, Eli. Something's got to give.
Well, Vieux South are on the ball right now, trying to regain a little bit of a foothold in this game. Early on, they definitely had the majority of the possession. That has sort of evened out from the last 10 odd minutes of the first half into the second half. And Slurry also seemed more aggressive on the ball.
Yeah, they seem what would have caused that? They seem energized by the goal that they just scored, and this is what you want. So this is like natural burst of enthusiasm for them, or injection of energy because of that goal scored. You'll see that you play football, Eli. When a goal is scored against you, you sort of sulk. But for the moment that you see you score a goal, you get this burst of energy. And that's what has actually propelled the Anse team to playing better right now. And you could see they were a little more relaxed because they got that goal in, and they're trying to see they can, of course, now take the lead in the encounter.
Second win you were talking about earlier?
Yes, they're comfortable now. They have gone past that stage, so now it's all about getting those passes together to ensure that they can, get those 3 points that they need. Again, the players trying to force the official into, dishing out the card. I think the official has already made his mind up. That always not excites me, but why do players think that they can change the official's mind? The official has already blown his whistle and made a decision. Your reaction will not change his decision.
Well, it doesn't appear that the referee has made up his mind completely yet. He's probably consulting his assistant referees to determine what course of action he will take. Right now, it's a talking to for the players.
To the captains.
I've not seen any. A card is brandished right now, and it's gone to 2 cards.
But the card would be for dissent. I don't think it is because of the foul. Because if you realize when he blew his whistle, they sort of rushed him. So there may have been something that was said to him in terms of dissent rather than the infringement of the foul. So players need to be wary of that as well. I mean, as anything else, you see it in international football that players, the emotion of the game will get to you. But if you can keep your head, certainly you just have to continue to play, because the referee will not change his mind or change his thoughts on his initial decision.
Well, 2 cards brandished there, so we'll wait for the official word on that. But another observation in terms of the semi-professionalization of football in St. Lucia, we see our officials donning some headsets, so the communication is actually better, bringing us a little closer to that international standard that we see on television all the time.
Definitely, the semi eventually might come out at some point. You might just be the St. Lucia Professional Football League, because we have the technology as a chance squandered. What they should have done again, Eli, keep the composure sort of cut back that ball anyhow.
Difficult angle there.
No, exactly. So don't go to goal. If it's a difficult angle, don't go to goal. Keep the ball and probably cut back within the 6-yard area. But you mentioned of the technology now by the league. It's a first-person Lucia communication, so there will be less of missing opportunities. Of course, we will fancy the VAR. Who knows, Eli? I could be, you and I could be in a studio somewhere all the way in Castries.
Once before South is in.
Good save would come out there by the goalkeeper.
Good tracking by the ancillary defender in the first instance, and then the goalkeeper coming and mopping up very nicely.
Yeah, so you and I could probably be in a studio somewhere in Castries, manning the VAR operations while the game go on in Soufrière. That would be another first for St. Lucia.
I would not want to be the object of any of these communities if the decision does not go their way.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. But again, look like the crowd is building. The left wing seems to be building as well. Eli, your side, the right wing, not bad at all. So surely persons are coming to the Super Mini Stadium to engage themselves in some semi-pro football. Also, Eli, there's a little bit of a makeshift stand to the back end of the goal, to the top.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a jazz setup, but it's for football.
A few people are in there as well. Yes.
If I was a spectator, I would want that to be my view. Just sit up there and taking some cool breeze from the Sulphur Springs, you know. But again, loose pass there from Vieux South, so that would be a goal kick for the ancillary team. Again, ancillary taking one back, making it one apiece. So we're clearly poised for some action. Like I said, those two teams are my favorites to move on from Tier 2 and make their way to Tier 1. So 3 points are so much vital. If the game draws, it will be 1 point each. But if they can put that ball behind the back of the net, either or can get away home with 3 points. And we see Vieux continuing to be a menace to the defense for the Vieux South. He seems to be everywhere. He seems to have a free role, Eli. I don't know, I tried to pinpoint his position per se, but sometimes he pops up on the left, pops up on the right, he pops up in the middle. So he seems to have a sort of a free role, so to speak, for the ancillary team.
Very strong tackle put in there by the ancillary player. Just getting word that the two players booked was Jardel Harrow, number 6 of Vieux South, and Demani Buthia, number 10.
Got in the mix.
The goal scorer for ancillary, and I'm inclined to go with your suggestion early on because he was not involved in that tackle at all.
Exactly. So that's why I make mention of the descent. We have a substitution coming up. Of course, we will get the official names in terms of what's happening, but the action is moving pretty quick. So which means that the officials or the coaches for both teams now are making some tactical changes, Eli, because none of those teams want these games to slip them by. So hence the reason why you see those changes are being made, whether it be personnel for attack, whether it be personnel for defense. But both teams do not want to lose that game.
Well, that change is number 9, Dove Jean-Baptiste from Uptown Rebels. He's coming in to replace the goal scorer over Femi Poyot from Shambhala Shiloh. So, as you indicated, I'm not too sure if there's an issue from my vantage point. Poyot had been having a decent enough game, but maybe it's a tactical approach because definitely ancillary has started to get a foothold in this game.
Yeah, also interesting name there. You mentioned Dove. Of course, you would know who Dove is, right?
Too funny.
That's right. It's him. I watched him last weekend in a practice game for Vieux South, and he scored a cracker. He scored a peach of a goal. So, don't give Dove a chance. Dove too funny is one aspect of his career or one aspect of him, but on the playing field is a different Dove altogether. So it's something for fans to look at as well. I like that as well. You know, if somebody different light can now play football, see a different side of things. So it's a free kick for the Vieux South team, but do not count out this Dove guy. Interesting enough. Guess where Dove is from? What community?
Tell me.
Canaries. He plays for Vieux South.
Well, for those of you guys are wondering, Dove Too Funny is his social media handle. He's very much a comedian, a little bit of an artiste as well, has ventured into the realm of soca music, and of course he's also a footballer, as you can see. playing for the Vieux South team. He's not the only one. We have a few celebrity football players, you know, in St. Lucia. So looking to see if he's as good on the ball as he is on the microphone.
Yeah, he's wearing, I think, number 9 it is?
Number 9.
Number 9, yes. Number 9, too funny. So let's look out for him as we continue with the encounter, but in the meantime, it's possession for the ancillary team of throw from the right side. Ball played into midfield, a one-touch pass, evading the player. However, possession given back to the Vieux South team. So good skill there. So you need some strength as well. But you can see the players trying to be so innovative in their ways. Possession to the Vieux South team. However, you could see the press. You see how important the press is from the ancillary team, and they're going all out this time because they basically camped in the half of the Vieux South team. So that's instructions again. Earlier on, we saw them for mid press. Now we see them for full press on the Vieux South team.
Earlier on in the first half, you know, Tennyson, I was making mention that one of the hallmarks of an ancillary team would be their fitness. You think that's going to play a part in the second half because they seem to be a little bit more energized than the Vieux South team at this point in the match? It
will, because the game is 90 and beyond, and you need those players to be able to manage a game throughout. That's why I mentioned earlier, there is the press, there is the low block. Whichever aspect of the game, you need your team to respond. And clearly you could see Somers is actually just tips in the technical area, dished out instructions, and you need energy to do so. And they have not failed him. They have been up and up with it. And here's a situation when that ball comes across for them in terms of a free kick. Let us see if Vieux South can clear, but energy certainly is needed, and you can see definitely that the ancillary team are up and up when it comes to the fitness level.
Vieux South looking to break, but ancillary breaking up play very easily. A little bit stop in the game at this point in time. Ancillary again on the ball and looking to try. There's Vieux again.
Yeah, he tried a bit of a no-look pass, a little fanciness there, where he should have just kept it easy. Here's a gift by the Vieux South goalkeeper. Seemed to be very, very nervous. But again, had Vieux just keep it basic, that pass probably could have worked out. But then again, I guess this is part of his characteristic as a player. But he looks certainly a very, very bright player who's trying his best to get the 3 points for his team ancillary.
Ancillary looking quite the more dangerous of the teams. A corner being won there again. You think it's a situation where Vieux South is probably losing their shape a little bit, or just not being able to deal with the tactical adjustments made by Somers Augustine and the ancillary team?
I'm seeing that the Vieux South team, they're dwindling on fitness. The energy level has basically gone down, not being able to deliver the movement of the ancillary team. So the fitness clearly taking a toll on the Vieux South team. They made some changes, but I have not seen the effect of the fresh legs just yet. So let's see how it pans out for them. But as of now, the ancillary team has the better of them. Let us see if this Vieux South team can dig very deep and dig out a result. But so far, it's been ancillary who have had the better of them in the second half. Yeah, so again you see now they mounted a little rate, but nothing really came out of it. But it's a punt upfield. Trying to control this one. Good one-time pass. And again you see how assertive the ancillary team is. They energize, they're playing good football, getting past their man, showing their technical ability on the football in midfield. Good passing range. Good tempo, still being able to keep the ball. So you can see the ancillary team, they're certainly up for it. Like they're really, really up for it.
Very technical play from ancillary right now. It's not just simply passing the ball. Skill on the ball is being displayed as well. They've definitely got the crowd now on the edge of their seats. You can probably hear faintly in the background the chant by the ancillary supporters as they look to give their team more of the impetus in the second half. And Raye, I mean, normally you reserve all of those tricks and flicks for when you're comfortably in the lead, but definitely you could see the confidence of the Anse team starting to course through their veins as they try to make more inroads into this game and probably even come from behind and take the lead.
Yeah, definitely so. But Eli, the crowd is certainly energized by what they're seeing, and they're clearly in for it. I don't know, but this Anse team will not go away. They're going to be keeping at the Vieux South team because they need the result, they need the 3 points. And again, they're not fazed by the occasion because they have a good backing as well, a good support from the stands. So clearly you could see that they won those 3 points, which are going to be so vital as we continue with the league format of the semi-pro league. Remember, it's not a knockout competition. It's a league competition where you need points to make your way up the table. So this is why the team from Anse will push till the end of the 90 minutes.
Before South just, you would have thought René Napoleon would have played a little bit of an advantage there because Anse was on the ball and getting away, but I guess he probably felt that he had to call it back since the player fouled, stayed down. Again, the Vieux South custodian with another error. A corner resulting out of this one. He definitely has, his nerves have been jangled. Another ball in. This one is dealt with by the Vieux South custodian in a much more confident fashion.
I'll tell you what, Eli, I'm not too convinced by the goalkeeper, the second string for Vieux South. I think this is about probably the third occasion where he's not been so comfortable. I mean, a ball coming away from all within the half of the Anse team, and he fumbled it. So if a true attack is mounted and they get a situation, I wouldn't be surprised if Anse find the back of the net again.
Anse seem to be growing very much in confidence right now. Fantastic control there. Ball will just run away from him, shepherded out by the Vieux South player. That ball spread to the flank there, and we just saw number 3 Tarek Phillip for Anse demonstrating his control there. That ball was getting away from him all the time, but he brought it under control. Unfortunately, that allowed the Vieux South player to be able to come in and shepherd him out. And Anse just seems to be growing more and more into this contest. I know you spoke about fitness, but I can't help but thinking that some of the tactical changes made by Anse also has a big part to play in terms of how Vieux South are operating right now, because they look a little flustered.
Indeed, I think what Summers have done is that he has probably put in an injection of pace in midfield to, of course, retrieve that ball. Like I mentioned earlier too, even Lucia, the little floating way. But that being said, Vieux South still trying to put ball into areas that could cause some confusion. A while ago, I saw a little situation where the goalkeeper had to play himself out of a situation, and this is what happens. But again, too, the ball not being able to get an outlet. There's no outlet so far in this passage of play by Anse because the ball just basically stays within the area. Good take there by the goalkeeper. And again, you'll want a fast showing from the ball. However, you have to keep it. I like this encounter. Something's got to give, and one of those teams, you can see a loose defensive clearance there by Vieux South, played back straight into the area by Buffia. Now the players are starting to get a little tired because you could see now the passes are not being able to be connected. So despite the fitness, sometimes when you try to overcommit or overdo, to a certain extent, this happens, Eli. So players now just need to relax and try to compose themselves to put passes together.
Particularly with the workload that we've seen the Manny Berthier put in thus far. We charged with selecting the man of the match for these contests, and some 75 minutes into this contest, you know, the match screams the Manny Vieux.
Yes, so far he's been the one who's really taken it to the opponent, despite Vieux South doing pretty well, but he's certainly the standout between the two teams.
Again, another wayward attempt from way out. We've seen that a couple of times from both teams. Very ambitious in terms of an attempt. But in this scenario, you would probably say you understand why Anse would want to try to test the Vieux South custodian, seeing as he's been a little shaky.
I told you, they will certainly try their best because he's a bit shaky. Anything within that goal frame, he's going to be very much suspecting that goal. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Buffalo get a good chance on him. Who knows, there might be a situation. But here we see a situation, a ball spread between the two.
Fantastic ball.
Very, very good pass there. Oh my goodness, ball coming off the frame, Eli. I don't think that's why he intended it to come off.
I think it should have been across.
Exactly, but it came off the frame. But again, that's going to throw off the timing by Dove, who tried his best to, you know, make contact at it. Yeah, and very awkward as well too. So that will be very, very, very difficult.
I definitely don't think he found that funny.
Football is not a foot. This game is a very serious game, so Dove would want to make a mark. Most certainly, of course, he has a lot of fans here in the stands as well, so definitely he want to make a mark.
And as expected, we are still seeing people piling in Tennyson. The much anticipated West Coast derby between Canaries and Soufre is just about bubbling in the pot, as we could see the two teams just warming up, getting set for that second encounter in Tier 1 action of the SPFL. But the folks from Soufre have not disappointed, as we see some skill again being demonstrated by the ancillary players, that they seem to be very comfortable, very confident on the ball. A far cry from what we saw in the opening 20-25 odd minutes of this encounter.
Players have settled down, Eli, and they want to show. I mean, this is a stage set by the Semi-Pro League for them, most definitely. So they want to be on show and show what they've probably tried on the practice pitch in train as well. Let's see if they can put it to fruition and get something positive at the end of the game, from it.
Well, you made mention that you had not necessarily seen the effect of the changes made by Vieux South, but one of the changes was made on halftime, and that's Erickson Reed McGlaw, definitely into the game full throttle, and he was the one we saw demonstrating that little bit of skill right there on the sideline there for Ancillary.
Yeah, players are trying to come into fruition, trying to see if they can push their team over the line. It's a bit difficult, but they're going to keep at it, Eli. Let's see, this one goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. Again, you could see that mid-press by the Vieux team. Not want to sell themselves, but creating a situation to keep the passing lanes not available for the Answer team. Again, they have to retreat to going back. Let us see if they can, come out of their half quite comfortably. And there you see what exactly the press forced them into making bad passes because the ball was basically just played out. So good pressure there by the Vieux South team. Despite Answer having the better in the second half, but it's still in the balance for the Vieux South. Any little mistake that Answer makes at the back right now because of nerves, Vieux South can capitalize. Similar for the other end of the pitch because of the not too steady goalkeeper by Vieux South.
Well, that chance just petering out for Vieux South there, but well articulated, Tennyson. As you said, this game is very much in the balance. Vieux South have already demonstrated during this match their ability to probe, their ability to get into dangerous attacking areas, and their eye for goal. They've been shooting from all over the place, albeit that they've sort of been subdued, a few tactical changes made by Thomas Augustine, including the Manny Vieux being placed more centrally, and he's definitely been pulling the strings for them. But Vieux South now look like they are trying to probe again, but Ansari quickly snuffing that out. Vieux South once again on the ball and trying to probe. Just about 10 minutes of regulation time left in this matchup. The Vieux for the ancillary keeper. That was close.
Yeah, but he knows his area. He knows what it's about. He seems to be a busybody in goal, which you need. It's a specialized position by footballers. When you're a goalkeeper, you're not an ordinary person. Take that from me, like. So certainly what he did there, he knows what it's about. Because you often used to hear they would put the least best
skillful player.
That's right, to play in goal.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. That is a specialized position, and this is what you've seen there. So I wasn't afraid for him. But the attack continues with Anse as they continue to mount what they're trying to do, string some passes together, a little too much time on the football. But again, certainly, I would want to see Vieux carry the helm of this team, because he seems to have the impact of what's happening to
with the
ancillary team, most certainly. And similar for the Vieux South team, I have not been able to pinpoint that individual, that player who can carry that team per se. It seems to be an all-out team effort, but they would need someone with a little steady head, Eli, to carry them through.
Yeah, well, a couple of the ancillary players have actually really stood out for me. Adriano Auguste being another one of them, Erickson Reed McGlaw, and of course we just mentioned, or we've been mentioning, Demani Berthia. So speaking again, Adriano Auguste again on cue, taking that shot from way outside of the box, covers his face with his jersey. He may have felt that he could have done better. Speculative effort, but it's an effort.
It's an effort which I thought not to be taken at this point in the game. I think he probably could have carried a little bit more, get closer to the shooting area, or get closer to the 12-yard area, or probably he could have even played in Berthia, who seemed to be asking for that ball, but I guess the emotion of the game, he figured, well, he could have had that shot from way out. But it continues between the two, and again, like I mentioned, any situation where one of those teams pops up an opportunity for themselves, they will take it. It's a bad tackle right there. Yellow card dished out. Looks like number 15. Is it Martin?
Yeah, Martin Tal.
Martin Tal. That sounds like a Spanish name, man. A player for Valencia or one of those teams, or Girona. Martin Tal. Yeah.
Well, I expect the game to probably begin to become a little feisty now, because both teams will feel that they have an opportunity to go on and win the game. 3 points are on offer here. We already saw yesterday Vieux North coming away with a +4 goals and 3 points. So definitely their neighbors Vieux South don't want to be the brunt of jokes for the upcoming week. And of course, Anse with the team that they have and the way that they've been playing over the last couple of years, a pretty young team, a pretty energetic team, a very workman-like team. But today we've seen that workmanship and that energy being coupled with a lot of skill and technique. So both teams will be very much looking forward to walking away from this encounter with 3 points. I think if the game ends in a stalemate of 1-1, both teams will be disappointed.
Very much so, Eli, because when you set out your goal, of course, is to win. Not only that, too, I mean, the management staff of either team would watch the fixtures and try to figure out where points would be gained, where they think points would be dropped. You watch your opponents and sort of creating your objective within the league. And certainly knowing the prowess of the ancillary team, similar for Vieux South team, they want to get the better of each other. But again, when on the given match day, you see what you're up against. And like you said, it might end up being a stalemate, but at least both teams will walk away with something.
Yeah, and the way this game has been played, the level of entertainment, the level of football that we have seen, kind of makes you forget that this is the opening encounter of the tournament for both of these teams. These teams look like they've been in mid-season form.
Yeah, and it's tier 2. remember, this is tier 2. So if tier 2 can generate so much excitement and anticipation, that only tells you what we're in for later when the home team takes on their neighbor.
And again, the fans continue to pile in. The main stands of the Super Mini Stadium almost at capacity right now from what I'm seeing. Can't tell if the left side or the right side is the best side. They say the left side is the best side. But the fan base also spilling over into the bleacher area that you mentioned earlier on. So the organizers will be very pleased at this point in time. The action coming for the first time to Super this weekend, and to have this sort of turnout and support for the semi-professional football league speaks volumes to the potential of the league and the expectation of the league based on the fan base. I mean, definitely we know what the expectation is from the football inside. They expect to get paid. They expect to be able to develop. But from the fan base, you know, the expectation seems to be pretty high right now, and they've shown up to demonstrate that expectation.
Certainly so, and also keep in mind too, what I found very strange is to have a fixture on a Friday. Normally, or culturally, or the norm per se, St. Lucians don't play football on a Friday. So I think this is a bold initiative by the league to have a fixture on a Friday, which sort of had a good little turnout, just to change the narrative, change the way we do things, knowing pretty well that, you know, it's a Friday and persons have other exploits, but again, the league took the chance and do it. So we're looking forward to some more Friday fixtures. And like you mentioned, good tie, good participation, good crowd engagement. So you organize the fixtures, the crowd will come.
Well, Minister Kenson Kazame has alluded to some upgrades being made to the Grosile playing field. And I can't help... Oh! And it's a mistake there!
Ooh, good save there by the goalkeeper.
Vieux is on the prowl again. I know. Should have made more of that.
Yeah, should have definitely made more. But again,
big mistake
save
there. Big chance, but not taken.
Yeah, big save by the goalkeeper. Remember I told you, this is a specialized position. This is not a position that you just put somebody in there. You definitely have to know what you're about, and you have to be so brave. So bravery was shown despite the mistake. Vieux not capitalizing, but good all-around football. Mistake made, not capitalizing, but good save by the goalkeeper.
You know, I was saying, Dennis, and I could imagine when the upgrades to the Grosile playing field are made and competition gets over there. Can you imagine what Grosile will be like on a Friday night? After football, the street party there,
you're right.
International street party there, right after football.
You're right. There's so much we can do. And again, we have to be so innovative in our ways, do things differently. There's so many communities that can, you know, embrace the semi-pro league. Of course, we will be trying to come every nook and cranny of the country so that persons can engage themselves in good domestic semi-pro football. Of course, now it's a situation where youngsters can, you know, develop themselves not only as footballers but as human beings, care for their family, whichever way you have it. So there's a lot outside of football that the league brings that we want to see go island-wide.
Yeah, and in the waning moments of this game, it's really much anybody's game, you know, and Anse Raye
way out.
snatching at that much, almost a desperate shot from the centre half coming forward there.
That's Eric Gabriel.
You know, but it's because the time is winding down, and like I said, both teams would have felt that they've done enough in this game to come away with 3 points. Football can be cruel sometimes.
Yeah, that's why we love it so much, you know. I mean, there is no script to the game. I mean, of course, we commentate, we analyze, however it's last we played on the playing field, and the players can tell the fate. But if chances are taken, who knows? You can just turn this game on a dime. There's a situation for people. South plays to the right side, comes back into his man. Let's see if he can just put this one into the area. Sort of a feeble shot. Again, Eli, you wanted that player to compose himself and put a nice telling cross in there. But again, because of the time situation and the nerve situation, not able to do what he wanted to do. But the ball was punched all the way up. We see Bufield giving chase. We know how the goalkeeper is, and he was able to hold on to this one comfortably.
Looks like the Vieux South player was trying to put a cross into
Turf, yeah.
But just didn't have the legs to get it into the right area. Again, you know, that speaks to the level of fitness that the teams have. You know, so very interesting that the way this game is panning out. It's 1-1. We are done with regulation time. We're into extra time. The fourth official has put up 5 minutes of additional time on the board. Of course, it's a minimum of 5 minutes, so we may just end up seeing a little bit more than that. We saw more than the 2 minutes allocated in the first half, but it was because of an injury to the GFO South goalkeeper. So 5 more minutes, and both of these teams will be probing, looking for that go-ahead goal. At this point in time of the game, Tennyson, you would think whoever is able to get the ball in the back of the net would have won it for their community.
Of course, it's in their hands right now. This is where players now need to be so much concentrated in terms of what they're doing, so focused, because you don't want to slip up, work so hard throughout the 90 minutes, Eli, and make some kind of ill-fate mistake and hand or gift your opponent that 3 points. So now it's all about concentration and keeping that shape and keeping it very tight at the back, not creating lanes for players to capitalize on. Every single situation, as Dove trying this one, missed out totally. There's another pass, but the defender making amends. Eric Gabriel, like I said, the mainstay of the defense for the ancillary team, fighting very much to ensure that his team doesn't lose this encounter. With a loose pass into midfield.
A little choppy now in the play.
Yeah, they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight for those 3 points right now. So let's see. But again, the number 11 going back with this one, putting it back into midfield. Could see a shot from some distance. But again, Eli, I saw a situation where Dove basically asking for that football just ahead of himself, but they opting to go the other route, and that ball going over the bars. The goalkeeper seems to be a little stretched. Remember earlier on he made a telling save, so it looks now it's taking a little toll on him. And of course he'll get some attention. The referee is going across and see what is wrong with him. But again, like I said, the game is dwindling down. The players have given their all. They have no legs right now. But not much time. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Game is just petering out now. At this point in time, it sort of looks like the 1-1 scoreline that we have is where it's going to end. But you never know. Always a miracle, always in store. It's football.
You just never know.
You never know. That's why the game has to be played. But I would suggest right now we'll definitely be seeing a little more than the 5 minutes of additional time.
Yes, a little more, about probably 1 or 2 minutes might be added just for the cause. But again, before some they have possession. Let's see if they can.
Cannery's about to make a substitution.
Wow, in the dying moment of the game. But again, that might just be tactical, just to slow down the Vieux South team, because they were about to give a quick throw in right there. So let's see if it's going to work. The player coming on should be rushing to the ball, to the goal area to defend that long throw.
That's number 20, Jardel Mitchell. He's coming in place of.
Here's that long throw by Vieux South.
Rio Longville, number 11, Rio Longville exiting the game, and Jardel Mitchell, number 20, entering for.
Cannery's been able to get that ball out of the area. So Eli, I suspect we will. Sorry, I keep on saying Canaries. You know why? I support Canaries. That's the way. Here's another good save there by the Anse goalkeeper. So bear with me, folks, but I've said so before. When it comes to,
it's Javon Wilson exiting the game for Anse. My apologies. And Kerry Clary.
We have something happening here, Eli. We have something happening here. Oh gosh. Again, the cross coming in so tame that it wouldn't get
flattered to deceive.
Yeah, it wouldn't work out. But that should be a clearance there for Anse. Not much time. Let's see if they can get a through ball. We see Bulfia. Tough one. A little too much for him to do. I think the pass initially should have been a little better.
It looks like a good ball. But unable to do anything with that.
And so we're still trying to mount something. Interception there by the defender. Looks to take on 3-4 players. Continue to work himself. Here's a through ball. But Dove not been able. It's a big clearance there by Eric Gabriel again.
Ball quickly put back into play.
Yeah.
And you can definitely hear the excitement At this point in time, I don't know. It's all the fans. I don't know if it's ancillary supporters or before South supporters or some of the Canries or Super supporters that would have come in.
It looks like it's a mixture of ancillary supporters because I remember Dover lives close to proximity to them, so they only get the better of him for sure. But a good display overall. It's a pity we didn't get a winner. I think we got a winner. I think not much time left. Eli, can we say it's going to be a draw?
I'm tempted to say that.
The referee seems
But what I will definitely say, it's been a fantastic encounter. A tier 2 encounter, but a fantastic one. Before South looks like they want one last try, but no! Anse breaks that up. A foul call there.
So they're going to go back and defend right now. Not bad.
One last opportunity for Vieux South.
Yes,
Jonathan?
let's see if they can put it into the area. There's a little corridor of uncertainty just within the penalty area. If that ball can come in there with a little pace on it, who knows? A penalty can be given or a player can get that ball on strike. It seems to be a left footer, so we're anticipating that ball is going to be an in-swinger. So let's see what comes out of it. Ball in the area.
Oh!
Save there by the goalkeeper.
Tips it onto the upright.
Just able, man. And you could see he put in a fist pump to sort of congratulate himself on that wonderful save, actually saving his team from losing the encounter. There's a pull on the shirt. So that should take us to the final whistle. Not a bad game at all. Good exhibition of Tier 2 football in the Semi-Pro League. Of course, both teams would want to walk away with the 3 points. However, they fought till the end and it ended up in a 1-1 draw. I think it's a good result that both teams can take back to the camp. Certainly, there are positives from this game, Eli. So the camps will know exactly what they need to do based on their upcoming fixture.
Well, the crowd definitely has not been disappointed in the first encounter at the Soufrière Mini Stadium. And I would suggest that the result is fair. 1 goal apiece. No team really on top for the entirety of the game. We saw Vieux South on top in spells, and we also saw Ancillary on top in spells. But would you say the man of the match is the man in Lucia?
Yes, I would say so. I think he was a man who really made the difference between the two teams. He gave his all. He was very instrumental in his team coming back, not losing the game. So clearly, like I mentioned earlier, he's certainly one for the future. Should he stay fit, he should be able to carry this team to further things in the league as it progresses.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles,